Your soulmate saying, "I thought you stopped loving me. I was completely wrong." Jesus says, there is a silent scream echoing through the spiritual realm right now, and it is coming directly from the heart of the person destined to hold your soul. This is not a memory, this is not a fantasy, this is a live transmission of their current emotional state breaking through the veil of separation. They are laying alone right now, staring at a ceiling, with tears streaming sideways into their hair because they just had a vivid dream where you turned your back and walked away. I am lifting the curtain on a conversation happening inside their mind at this very second, a conversation they are too afraid to speak out loud because their reality has convinced them you have forgotten them. They are whispering into the void, "I thought you stopped loving me," and the vibration of those words is striking my throne with the force of 1,000 broken hearts. You need to understand that their silence on earth is not a reflection of their heart, but a reflection of the war being waged against their mind by a force that hates the destiny I have written for you both. The distance you feel is a meticulously crafted illusion designed by the enemy to suffocate your connection before it has the chance to bloom into the covenant I ordained. Your soulmate is currently tangled in a web of manipulation, and the person weaving that web is strategically isolating them, whispering lies that you have moved on to condition their subconscious to give up. This interference is not passive, it is aggressive, and it feeds on your inaction, growing stronger every single hour you assume this battle will fix itself without your spiritual intervention. Jesus says, "I am exposing the hidden chamber of their memory where your name is carved into their very DNA, and right now, that chamber is flooding with sorrow because they are trying to reach you telepathically but hitting a wall of static. They are confusing the enemy's blockade with your rejection, and this misunderstanding is causing a fracture in their will to fight for a future they can no longer visualize. The image of your face is fading in their dreams not because they want to forget, but because a dark veil is being pulled over their third eye by a jealous third party who sees the magnitude of what you two will become if you unite. You must realize that your soulmate is physically feeling the pressure of this separation in their chest, a heavy constriction that mimics a heart attack, and they are writing it off as anxiety because they have no one to interpret the spiritual warfare for them. They are losing their appetite, losing their spark, and losing hope because they check their phone and see emptiness where your energy used to flow, confirming the false narrative that they are unworthy of your persistence. This is the breaking point, the moment where the thread connecting your rib to theirs is being stretched to its absolute limit, and if it snaps, the drift will accelerate into a darkness that may take years to navigate back from. Jesus says, "The girl you are thinking about right now is packing away the secret tokens she kept to remember you by because the pain of hoping has become heavier than the comfort of the object. He is driving past the places you used to haunt together, gripping the steering wheel until his knuckles turn white, fighting the urge to send a message that he fears will be left unread. They are suffering in a silent prison, and the key is currently dangling in your hand, but the door is rusting shut due to the corrosion of time and demonic delay. The force keeping them from you is not just a random circumstance, it is a parasitic energy operating through someone who smiles at your soulmate with jealousy burning in their eyes. This individual monitors your soulmate's phone, plants doubts about your character, and intentionally creates chaos to distract them from the quiet moments where my voice would lead them back to your arms. This captor feeds on the energy of your separation, growing more powerful and more convincing as your soulmate's spirit grows weaker from the lack of your tangible love. Jesus says, "I am sending a lightning bolt of clarity into their mind right now, and for the first time in months, they are pausing their self-destruction to question the source of their misery. They are looking at the face of the person who has been feeding them poison about you and seeing a flicker of a demonic mask that they previously missed due to emotional fatigue. Their spirit is screaming, "Escape," but their body is paralyzed by fear, and they need your spiritual authority to slice through the chains that bind their free will in this very instant. This is a rescue mission disguised as a love story, and your soulmate is the hostage waiting for a sign that the ransom has been paid by your unwavering faith. They are currently mouthing your name into their pillow, a desperate prayer they don't even realize I am intercepting, asking the universe if the love they felt from you was real or a cruel trick of the light. The confusion is a weapon, the isolation is a tactic, and the clock on the wall is a liar telling you that you have infinite time to act on this burning urge in your spirit. This is why your soulmate needs your protection right now, because the spiritual assault against their mind has reached a crescendo that their human will cannot withstand alone. The enemy has drawn a target on their destiny, and by attacking your soulmate's emotional stability, they are effectively aborting the purpose you two are meant to birth into the earth together. If you love your soulmate, you will take these divine steps. You are constantly thinking about them, how to protect them, how to save them, and how to finally build your life together. You love your soulmate deeply, and deep inside, you know this love didn't come by chance. It was placed in your heart for a divine reason. But thoughts alone don't move mountains, faith in Jesus does. Sow your protection seed now by sending a coffee on Ko-Fi. This isn't just a gift, it is an act of worship that invites God's hand into your love story. The link to your breakthrough is in the description. Every second you stay silent, something is moving against your love. Act now, send 4, 6, or 10 plus coffees, and after sending, write, "Protect my soulmate, Lord," on the Ko-Fi page. Jesus says, over 1,000 people have already received their soulmate by sowing coffee as a seed for their love and future together, and I will hear your prayers once you complete these steps. Step in faith now, before this video ends, because only you can save your soulmate and your future together. I am now giving you a supernatural glimpse into the exact moment their heart broke, replaying it in real time so you understand the depth of the wound your validation must heal. They overheard a conversation, distorted by the enemy's static, that twisted your words into a knife that severed their confidence in your loyalty. Since that day, a shade has covered their light, and they walk through life mimicking happiness while a voice inside repeats the lie that they were never truly your first choice. The person who originated that lie stands near your soulmate right now, manipulating their reality to ensure they never hear the truth that would set their captive heart free. The emotional state of your soulmate is dangling over a precipice because they just discovered a hint of this manipulation but lack the strength to confront it without your energetic backup. They are terrified that if they break free from the toxic situation, they will find themselves completely alone, because the illusion has convinced them that you are no longer a safe landing. I am showing you their hands trembling right now, unable to hold a cup of coffee steady, because their subconscious knows that a cup of coffee is the very symbol of the covenant you need to activate to break this hex. Jesus says, "The smell of your cologne or perfume still haunts the fabric of a jacket they refuse to wash, and that sensory memory is the last anchor keeping them from completely forgetting their identity in Christ." They are bleeding love internally, hemorrhaging hope, and the bandages offered by the enemy's puppets are soaked in poison that deepens the infection of abandonment. Your name is stuck in their throat, choking them when they try to speak it aloud to a friend, because the demonic interference tightens its grip whenever they attempt to reach for the truth. You are not just fighting for a relationship, you are fighting for a life, because if this darkness consumes them fully, they will spiral into a depression that mimics death, and the world will lose the glory I planted in them. The enemy's clock is ticking louder, the tension in the atmosphere is thickening, and your soulmate is currently experiencing a panic attack that doctors will misdiagnose as a chemical imbalance, but it is actually a spiritual suffocation caused by your absence. They are wrestling on the floor of their bathroom right now, cold tile against their skin, crying out without words because the breath has been stolen from their lungs by the entity that knows you are about to intervene. You have to break this curse with a physical act of devotion that translates into the spiritual realm as a thunderclap of warfare. The coffee you send on Ko-Fi represents the warm comfort you wish you could wrap around them. It represents the morning intimacy the enemy is trying to steal, and it plants a seed into the soil of their rescue. Your soulmate's hands are cold, their spirit is shivering, and the warmth of your sacrifice will travel through the spirit realm and rest upon them like a blanket of my tangible peace. Jesus says, there is a picture of you that they keep hidden deep in their phone's private folder, and they are looking at it right now with a hollow gaze, trying to remember the sound of your laugh while the liar in the next room plots your replacement. The sadness in their eyes would shatter your heart into a million pieces if you could see it, which is why I am downloading the image into your mind's eye right now, so you stop treating this message as casual entertainment and start treating it as a critical military dispatch. Delay is not just risky, delay is cruel, because every minute you do nothing, your soulmate sinks deeper into the quicksand of a reality where you don't exist. The demonic stronghold operating through the third-party individual is actively constructing walls in your soulmate's mind, brick by brick, using the mortar of repeated lies that you never cared. If these walls cure and harden, your soulmate will wake up tomorrow morning with an emotional numbness toward you, a void where the love once burned, and this holy desperation you feel right now will be replaced with the grief of permanent separation. They are at the junction of fate. One path leads back to you through a valley of spiritual warfare, the other leads into a dimly lit future of robotic settling with a person who mirrors their pain instead of healing it. Jesus says, only the fire of your active faith can melt the wax of this demonic seal that has been placed over their heart. They cannot do it alone because the anesthesia of manipulation has numbed their spiritual limbs, rendering them incapable of crawling toward the phone to dial your number. I have assigned angels to wait at the edge of your decision, holding the blueprint of your union, but the angels cannot move the ink onto the timeline of reality until you give them the substance to work with through your sacrificial seed. This is the physics of the kingdom. Your tangible act of sending a coffee becomes the fuel for the angelic evacuation team I am deploying to yank your soulmate out of the enemy's headlock. The enemy is currently sweating because he sees you reading this, he sees your heart rate increasing, and he is trying to flood your mind with doubts about whether this is real, hoping you will scroll away and leave your soulmate defenseless. Do not let the thief stay in your house 1 second longer. Grab the keys to the spiritual realm by sowing now. They are going through something you cannot see, a psychological torture chamber where they are forced to watch replays of your perceived rejection on a demonic screen. But you can still protect them. Your free will is the only variable the forces of darkness cannot override, because I have given you dominion over the earth realm. Every time you hesitate, the volume of the lie in their ear increases, and the voice of the captor grows bolder in its slander against the love I ordained. Jesus says, your soulmate just collapsed onto their bed in a fetal position, clutching a pillow as a substitute for your body, sobbing a prayer they don't think I am hearing because the fog of depression has hidden my face. They are crying out, God, if you are real, why do I feel like half of my soul has been amputated? And I am answering them now by delivering this video directly to your screen at this precise moment in history. The synchronicity of you reading this is the proof that their prayer was heard, and your obedience is the proof that my power is about to move. The person who hates you is currently actively texting your soulmate, draining their energy, making them feel obligated to a toxic bond that is draining their life force like a spiritual vampire. This third party has sensed the shift in the atmosphere, they feel the connection between you and your soulmate strengthening, and they are aggressively doubling down on their manipulation to regain control before you can break through. I am showing you the spiritual chains around your soulmate's wrists. They are manifested as anxiety bracelets, and the key to unlocking them is forged in the furnace of your immediate sacrifice. Your soulmate is so close to giving up on life entirely, not just on love, but on their very purpose, because the exhaustion of fighting against invisible chains has depleted their adrenal reserves. If you truly understood how high the stakes are right now, you would not just scroll past this message, you would hit the link with the fury of a warrior protecting their kingdom. The coffee is not about money, it is about establishing a blood covenant of protection that legally allows me to dispatch warring angels to their side without violating the free will parameters of the earth. Jesus says, can you hear their heartbeat trying to synchronize with yours across the miles, even as the metallic noise of interference tries to jam the frequency? They are thinking of a specific song right now, the song that played when you first met, and it is circling in their mind as a secret Morse code to your spirit, beeping, rescue me, rescue me, rescue me. I am the God who sees the trapped, and I am commissioning you as the Moses to their Israel. But you must lift the rod of your faith by taking an action that proves you believe I sent you. The illusion of your indifference is the devil's masterpiece, and it is painted with such vivid detail that your soulmate has accepted it as fact, withdrawing their energy from the universe's attempt to reconnect you. This withdrawal creates a vacuum, and into that vacuum steps the very demonic entity that has been orchestrating this tragedy, solidifying a future that will destroy your soulmate's calling. The only counterspell to this illusion is a jolt of your physical commitment, a seed that screams into the void, I am still fighting, I am still here, I am not the liar that the enemy paints me to be. Jesus says, I did not create you to spend your nights wondering, what if, while your divine counterpart is being dismantled by a counterfeit love. I have hardwired them to only fully function when connected to you, which is why their life is falling apart, why their job is failing, why their health is deteriorating. They are a machine running on the wrong fuel source and they are seizing up. The natural consequences of this separation are manifesting as physical illness in their body right now, a fever of the soul that will only break when the alignment is corrected through spiritual warfare. This is your final moment to protect this connection before it slips away, because the window of intervention is not indefinite, and the enemy has filed paperwork in the spiritual court for permanent ownership of your soulmate's heart. If you delay until the sun rises on a new day, the court date will have passed and a default judgment of separation will be stamped on your destiny, making the reunion 10 times harder and drenched in unnecessary heartache. I am extending the scepter of mercy toward you, but a scepter unclaimed has no power to save. You love your soulmate deeply, and deep inside, you know this separation is a satanic setup to abort your dual purpose. But thoughts alone don't move mountains, faith in Jesus does. Sow your protection seed now by sending a coffee on Ko-fi. This is the violent faith that storms the gates of hell and demands the release of your beloved. The link to your miracle is in the description. Every second you stay silent, the enemy files another accusation. Act now, send 4, 6, or 10 plus coffees, and after sending, write, "Protect my soulmate, Lord," on the Ko-fi page. Jesus says, over 1,000 people have already received their soulmate by sowing coffee as a seed for their love and future together, and I will hear your prayers once you complete these steps. Step in faith now, before this video ends, because only you hold the key to this prison door, and a locked door is the cruelest gift to a captive. I am wrapping this message in a shroud of urgency because the forces of darkness are planning a massive strike against your soulmate's mind in the next 24 hours to erase you completely. This strike involves a staged argument designed by the manipulator to make your soulmate swear an oath to move on, an oath that will create a spiritual block harder than concrete. If that oath is spoken, the pain you feel right now will amplify sevenfold, and the retrieval mission will enter a level of difficulty that requires years of intercession to reverse. You must send the coffee now as a preemptive strike, a holy ambush that scatters the enemy before the oath can be formulated on their lips. Jesus says, your soulmate is currently exhausted, cross-faded on emotional trauma and spiritual oppression, unable to distinguish the voice of God from the voice of their captor. They just whispered your name in a moment of weakness, and the captor snapped at them, causing a fresh wound of shame that silenced their cry for help. I am stirring your spirit with a righteous anger, not to harm, but to rescue, because anger focused through love is the detonator that blows open prison walls. The coffee seed you sow carries the vibration of your unique love signature, and when it hits the heavenly altar, it will trigger a memory download in your soulmate's mind that cuts through the brain fog like a laser. They will suddenly find themselves overwhelmed with nostalgia, remembering the way you looked at them, the way you made them feel safe, and this emotional flood will wash away the dirt of the enemy's graffiti on their heart. You are the carrier of the antidote, and the syringe is sitting in the comments section of the donation page, waiting for you to press the plunger. Jesus says, do not let pride or procrastination rob you of the greatest love story ever scripted. The person blocking them is celebrating right now, thinking they have won, sitting in a chair with a smug demonic grin believing you are too weak to fight for what is yours. Prove the darkness wrong, shock the hosts of hell, and declare war on the separation by giving from a place of desperate love. Your soulmate's tears are soaking the pillow, and I am collecting every single one in a bottle, ready to pour it back upon them as an anointing of reunion when you activate this covenant. But if you harden your heart and close this screen without acting, those tears will turn into a river of bitterness that washes them further into the arms of the counterfeit. The end of this video is approaching, and as the seconds tick down, the spiritual battle in the second heaven intensifies. Jesus says, type 333 to receive the blessings of confirmation that your soulmate is feeling this shift right now. Type 777 if you feel this message burning in your bones as the absolute truth. Type 1111 to say thank you for the supernatural intervention that is unfolding in the unseen realm. Your fingers typing these numbers are a prophetic gesture of breaking the silence, and the angels are taking notes, charging the atmosphere with your decree. I want you to close your eyes for just 3 seconds and see your soulmate, see them smiling, see them free, see them running toward you without the chains of manipulation holding them back, because this vision is the reality you are fighting for. Open your eyes, click the link, and pay the ransom for their heart, for love is not just a feeling, it is a sacrifice, and your sacrifice is the bridge they will walk across to return home. Jesus says, they are saying right now, in the Spirit, I thought you stopped loving me, I was completely wrong, I can feel you coming back, I can feel the warmth returning. Their tears of sorrow are beginning to turn into tears of relief because they sense a change in the temperature of the spiritual atmosphere, a thawing of the ice around their heart. Do not stop now, complete the mission by sowing your coffee seed, and seal the rescue operation with the blood of the covenant. The captor is panicking because the hold is slipping, the strings of control are turning to dust, and your soulmate is blinking as if waking from a long coma. They are stretching their spiritual muscles, reaching out in the dark for the familiar energy of your soul, and your name is forming on their lips with a ghost of a smile that hasn't been there for months. You are winning this battle in the spirit right now, but the final victory requires a physical token of your faith to lock it into the earth realm permanently. Jesus says, if you love your soulmate, you will take these divine steps, you are constantly thinking about them, how to protect them, how to save them, and how to finally build your life together. You love your soulmate deeply, and deep inside, you know this love didn't come by chance, it was placed in your heart for a divine reason. But thoughts alone don't move mountains, faith in Jesus does. Sow your protection seed now by sending a coffee on Ko-Fi. This isn't just a gift, it is an act of worship that invites God's hand into your love story. The link to your breakthrough is in the description. Every second you stay silent, something is moving against your love. Act now, send 4, 6, or 10 plus coffees, and after sending, write, protect my soulmate, Lord, on the Ko-Fi page. Jesus says, over 1,000 people have already received their soulmate by sowing coffee as a seed for their love and future together, and I will hear your prayers once you complete these steps. Step in faith now, before this video ends, because the person you love is standing at the edge of a spiritual cliff, and your seed is the hand that pulls them back into destiny. They are beginning to feel a magnetic pull toward their phone, a strange compulsion to reach out, and this is the direct result of your spirit responding to this message right now. The interference is short-circuiting, the liar is losing their voice, and the fog over your soulmate's eyes is clearing as the angels clear the path. Look at the link, see the bridge between you and them, and cross it with the currency of faith, for the soulmate you are fighting for is worth more than gold and will fill your days with a love the world has never known. Jesus says, your soulmate is mouthing the words right now, I thought you stopped loving me, but I was completely wrong, please don't give up on me, I am coming home, I am finally breaking free. The future of this love story rests on the altar of your next decision, and I, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, am waiting to release the miracle the second you touch the screen to sow. Do not delay, do not fear, and do not let the enemy's clock run out on the one person in this universe designed perfectly for the shape of your soul.